Hi everyone, it's James here from Pro Tools Expert, and I'm down in the shed, down in the studio. I promised you after the last kind of Create Pro update, we would take things to the next level. So Rich is back in the studio.
Hello.
And we're going to get down and dirty with this baby. So what are we doing today?
So today, after the lovely upgrades that we done for you last time,
Which were awesome, by the way.
yeah, which was a 3.46 core. So still a single processor system, which you've loved, and you've done your stress tests and everything. And I'd like to think that you're very happy with what you got out of the system.
Definitely.
This time around, we're going to show you just how easy it is to now upgrade this, a single processor system, to a 12-core system. So dual processors. It means that anybody that's got this exact same system, and most people, I'll be honest, more people have got the single processor system because it was cheaper than the 8-core at the time. It shows you how easily you can do it, and we can do that upgrade for you. So yeah, we're going to take the tray out. We're going to whack in 12 cores of 3.46, which can also take up to 128 gig of RAM now, as opposed to the 64 that you can use currently on your 6-core.
Which is enough, really, isn't it?
I'd like to say it's enough, yeah. Yeah, you can throw just about any sample library you want at that, and it will be very happy. We're also going to put some USB 3.0 in there. You've got one spare PCIe slot, so we're going to put in a 4-port USB 3.0 card.
Now, here's a question. With that, I'd say we don't know the brand of the card yet, but I'm sure we'll get onto that. Can you then mix and match, or does putting a USB 2 connection onto that slow everything down to USB 2?
No. It's because it's on its own PCIe slot. That's its own set of channels. So that you'll have 4 USB 3.0, and they'll be on the card, and they will be full speed, 480 meg, whatever it is, something like that. And the 5 ports that are on your Mac Pro 2.0, they're fine. They're completely. So you're gonna have 9 ports in total.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into this thing.
Yeah.
And I'll go handheld on the camera and show the world exactly what you're doing to my.
Yeah, very simple 2-minute job. So one thing to point out, which we were talking about earlier, is that with authorizations for certain software, you may need to reauthorize them. With iLocks, you obviously never do, but maybe if you've got complete, any NI stuff, Spectrasonic stuff, IK Multimedia, Korg, any ones like that require you to go onto the internet, they may need to be reauthorized. But we'll see. You might be absolutely fine.
Great stuff.
Crossed.
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
Here we go. Okay, so let's do it. Let's open her up and begin Open Heart Surgery Mark II.
Okay, so exactly the same as when we took out your old board and replaced it with this one. Just use these 2 mechanisms here, push them out, and then you can just slide the board out. This one's significantly cleaner than the last board that you had in there as well.
What are you trying to say?
Well, nothing. So that's it for that one. Nothing more, nothing less. And then this is one of our boards that we've obviously already upgraded, so it's all ready to go out of the bag, so to speak.
Fight its way out.
So just one thing to bear in mind, though, if you're going to do this upgrade and you're going to let us know that you want to do this upgrade, or even if you can do the upgrade yourself, just be aware that there is a difference between the 2009 board and the 2010 board. So you've got a 2009. It's really minor differences, but nevertheless, there are some differences, okay? So I'm just going to pop that there for a minute.
So we've got 2 heat sinks on top of there now, rather than the one enormous one.
So you had one, we can see the differences there in the 2 boards. 1 large heatsink for the 6-core, 2 smaller heat sinks for the 2 6-cores.
Is that because they don't run as hot, or?
No, I think it's just Apple's design. They're exactly this. It's the same processor that's in your 6-core that's 2 of them in here.
Right.
So obviously you need to transfer your RAM over. So you can see now you've got 8 RAM slots, 4 on here, 4 on the back, as opposed to just 4 on the front on your other one.
And do you need to split them up separately across the two processors?
Exactly,
or?
yeah. So what we're going to do, you only had 3 RAM in your other machine. So we're just going to put 2 on the first 2 banks and then 1 onto the other processor bank.
Now, in the past, we've all heard that it's best to pair up and match up RAM.
Well, what we'll do is this will be another video once you put this through its paces, we'll do another video upgrading the RAM. Obviously, you can go a lot higher now. So yeah,
RAM power
rammed up. So what might be interesting to do is maybe some benchmarking tests. I don't know, on maybe Contact or something like that. That can use all that extra RAM, and then we can see what the performance benefits are from just having more RAM. So board back in there, and that is that. We'll just do your USB card now as well. So you've got 1 PCIe slot left. So you just take off the retainer. We get the USB card.
It's tiny.
It is tiny, yeah. And then that's giving you 4 ports. USB 3 ports are always got the blue in them. It's not really too fussy about what slot it goes into, I'll be honest with you. But once this is in there, you haven't got any more 3 slots left, so just bear that in mind. Not unless obviously you went to like a PCIe expander chassis that we also sell.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go down that route just yet.
No, not unless you want like another 3 HDX cards or something.
I would need the budget for 3 X cards as well.
Yeah, well, just in case Avid's watching, and they want to let you do some tests with that.
At this point, I'm going to say no comment. It's safer that way.
Okay, so as you can see, it really is, all this bit is just super painless. But
and the thing, of course, that you can see that I've got in there that you can't do any other way these days, other than expansion chassis, is there's my 4 hard drives.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, Mike was saying something about, is it Angel Bird drives?
Yeah, Angel Bird, we're the UK reseller for Angel Bird SSDs now.
And there's something to do with, I'm going to try and sound intelligent and call it native trim.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So trim is basically like the garbage collection. It's the term for the garbage collection on a disk. So I suppose an easy way to look at it is, if you remember on Windows when you used to like disk defrag, to get all those ones and zeros all realigned again after you've been writing, deleting. An SSD works in a slightly different way, but trim is that way. So it's a way that it can reorganize the data on the fly, so that the disk is working at its optimal. Now, OS X being OS X, everything needs to be a bit proprietary for Apple because that's just the way they do it. Their own SSDs had trim built into them and also built into OS X. So the two of them need that running for it to be sort of foolproof across the board on OS X. If you just go and get a Samsung drive or, I don't know, Kingston or, Crucial, exactly, any one of those.
Which is, let's face it, what's in there?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have it. There's a lot of debate these days over how much you do actually need it. But in OS X 10.10 now, Yosemite, trim seems to have become a bit more of a bigger deal. So we didn't want to stock the Apple ones because, I'll be honest, they don't perform that well. Most of them have all gone on to the flash modules now anyway, on all the MacBooks and whatnot, and the new Mac Pro, trash can. So Angel Bird was our only option. They're amazing drives. They're endorsed by like the A to Z of the creative industry. They perform really, really well. So once again, another video we can do is we'll whack some Angel Birds in there and we'll get some results with that.
I'm loving this, getting better all the time. Cool. So I suppose the next thing to do is whack the back on it, try and fit it back into my...
shoehorn it back in.
Yeah, and then we'll run it.
That is it, though. So there's no software to do. We've already done that with the 2009 when we put in the 6-core. We upgraded the firmware on this. That is it. There's nothing else to do. We plug it in now, and Bob's your uncle.
Awesome. So let's do that. And we're back in a moment once we've shoehorned it back in and plugged the myriad of cables into the back. So Mac Pro is reconnected, theoretically. So Rich, press the button and let's see what happens.
Okay, well the light's on, so that's always a good start.
And we're waiting for...
Give it a minute. The more drives that are in there, it usually adds a little bit of a delay.
I didn't know that.
And it is fully maxed out in there with bits and bobbins. Yeah,
four
drives and your HDR. It has to detect everything as it turns on, so there
we go. That's the important bit.
That's the bit we like.
The gorgeous chime. So basically what's going to happen now is we're going to... as soon as we get the opportunity to, we'll put ScreenFlow back on. So that means you'll see what we're seeing on the main Raven screen. And we're going to run this baby up and run the same Pro Tools session, the same Mac power test session, and see how much more juice we get out of two processors. At this stage, we haven't upgraded the RAM. To be honest, the USB 3 card, 3, not 2, was... for my benefit, for having more stuff to be able to plug in and having backup drives, things like that. That's not going to make a great deal of difference to the actual performance of the machine, but it will aid my performance with the machine.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, though, in the future, with all of your lovely reviews, get any USB 3.0 IOs in, then you're going to be able to run those now as well.
As opposed to having to run them on my MacBook, I can now run them on the main studio machine.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's just bury the wireless jobby and let's get... what's it called? ScreenFlow up and running. All the web stuff that just sits there and, quite frankly, gets in the way.
Yeah.
Even this is faster.
Oh yeah, I mean you're going to see it across the board now. Everything's being spaced out across the 12 cores, as opposed to across 6. So the more cores. You know, the newer the OS, the better. So if you're on 10.10,
this is
you see a much you're on 10.10.4 now.
Yep.
They just get better at handling more cores in every OS now. So
okay, so new recording. Boom. 3, 2, and here comes ScreenFlow. Okay, so ScreenFlow's now up and running. Took us a little while to get there, but hey. So let's just quickly show you what this Mac now says it is. 2 of our lovely 3.46 gigahertz core, so that's 12 cores.
Yep.
Loving that. Okay, so let's see what Pro Tools can do. Now, I've got Pro Tools HDX, an HDX card installed in this, but the last test was done non-HDX. So we're going to go non-HDX this time. So you won't hear anything in this session, and quite frankly, the session's so dire you don't want to hear anything.
Yep.
But you should see everything, and that's the important thing. And we'll be able to see the CPU usage meter and see what's going on. Okay, so let's go to recent sessions.
Power test. Yeah.
Power test. And it's going to take a little while to open this because obviously it's a ridiculously huge session. If you find yourself using 128 instrument tracks, don't.
Yeah,
Well, for a start, we're seeing 24 cores. Now, for some reason, because of hyperthreading, I think...
Yeah, it's virtual cores, so you've got 12 physical cores, and then the hyperthreading virtual cores is 24. So before on the 6, you would have had 12, now you've got 24.
That's ridiculous.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Okay, it's loading. It's going to take a little while, so we're going to do the magic of television or interwebs. Speed it all up. Okay, so this is the same Mac power test session we were using before, and there's a few things I need to do to it because obviously I use Pro Tools in a day-to-day basis. First of all, we'll turn off disk caching because most of you who have, or any of you who don't have HD, don't have that. And we were running at 128 samples, but now we're going to go down to 64 samples and see what happens. This session did not run at 64 samples before.
Yeah. Oh, sounds good.
No, it doesn't. Not really. But hey. But sitting at 49%, if that, 51. The booms are all going ballistic.
Very good.
You really don't want to hear that. Okay. So we're at maximum number of tracks we can be running because we just are.
Yep.
So let's engage another. Let's whack up another 10.
Yeah.
Show make active. So there's another 10 coming in.
Another 10 booms.
Another 10 boom instrument tracks, yeah. At 64 samples.
Very good.
Now, let's say this machine would not run this last time.
No.
Not even close. So there's another 10 all the way up there. Yep.
Didn't really add anything.
Didn't really do very much, did it? Okay. Let's go up to. Let's go up 20. Let's go up to 100 instrument tracks. I already feel guilty for doing this because anyone who does this is clinically insane.
Yes. Yeah. Or really, really loves boom.
Right.
System is still nice and responsive once that's loaded.
Yeah. Okay, there's 100. Yeah, that's another. It's jumping around a little bit on the total processor, but it's not doing a great deal, is it?
Yeah, there's a fluctuation there, but
it's still running, and we're at 64 samples.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can.
Just to prove it, they're all there. They're all doing what they should be doing. I'm quite scared.
Yeah.
Right.
Typical Kanye West production there.
Don't even. Sorry, who?
Right,
let's go for another 20. Now, I'm sure things like, I know the Spectrasonics libraries are very thirsty.
Yeah.
But I know, this is our generic test.
Yeah.
I'm not a Spectrasonics user, so I couldn't say for certain. But I know they are quite thirsty. But this is certainly getting to the stage of...
It would just never be used in real life at this kind of size. So, maybe if you was to say, well, I'm running 100 instances of boom, would that run 50 omnispheres?
Yeah.
Once again, you're not going to use 50 omnispheres.
20 or probably
exactly.
even 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so that's now 120 tracks of boom and 128 audio tracks. And we've probably gone up 10% from where we started.
Yeah, I think you could go a lot higher, in all honesty.
Right, let's put another 20 in. Hang on, have I even got another 20 in this session? Yeah, we've got up to 256 instruments. Okay, so let's go to from 120 to 140. This is getting silly now.
Certainly is.
Because we've doubled the processor speed. We haven't changed the RAM yet. We haven't done anything like that. So let's see how far we can go.
Yeah.
140 instruments. It's slightly worrying that we're even doing this.
Wow. Someone's got to do it. I think what's great about this is what it really proves is that this machine is still completely and totally 100% current.
Yeah.
That's what it proves. And I think that will be a breath of fresh air to the power users out there that, are currently in no man's land. Do I get a Mac Pro 6.1? It doesn't fulfill what I need it to do. As far as I know, my 4 or 5-year-old Mac Pro is now defunct. Well,
I
it's
can
not.
safely say, power users out there, oh no, it ain't. So this is now 140 tracks of boom. Now you can see the CPU usage is jumping around a bit more now.
Yeah.
But
the allocation's nice though across all the threads. I mean, everything's kind of,
yeah, what he said.
quite even. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't the case if you had gone back a few Pro Tools.
No,
If
not at all.
If you've gone back to, Pro Tools 9, you wouldn't be getting this stuff.
Not at all.
It wouldn't know how to allocate across the processors. So this is great. It's doing what it's meant to be doing.
Right, so averaging around about 60%. So, we're warming her up now.
We're warming it up.
Right, another 20.
Let's do it in 20s.
160. If I ever run a track like this, just shoot me now.
Yeah.
Just end it. This is ridiculous. Right, 160. Right, now that's the first time we've seen that.
Yep.
The processor actually did max out when it was initializing or finding everything.
Yep.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It's still not panicking, is it?
No.
I mean, everything's getting a little bit more yellow and a bit less black, but
yeah, I mean, that's not even 2/3 yet of the system being used.
That is just ridiculous. And you can get this system as well. This is available on the Pro Tools. Sorry, you can download this session from the Pro Tools Expert site. I will find it and I'll put a link at the end of this video to it, because we're not doing anything clever. We're just seeing how far this machine will go. So you too can check out your system. Okay.
I think it's a good baseline benchmark.
Well, it's real world. Everyone's got Boom if they've got a relatively recent copy of Pro Tools. Channel Strip obviously is something that's relatively new, sort of Pro Tools 10. Pro Tools 10? Yeah, I think so. And everyone's got Deverb. Deverb has been tweaked and enhanced since its original creation.
Yeah.
But when it went over to AAX, it's still a fairly thirsty plugin.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, processor maxed on its initial kind of cycle, but that's 128 tracks. It's a bit more. Sorry, not 128, 180 tracks.
180 booms.
Yeah, it's a bit scared now, isn't it? See what happens.
I think it's just that initial bit of it.
Yeah, it's
kind of getting everything in place, and then Yeah, so we're hitting the 70 now. I'd say I'd say though, usually, wouldn't you, like in an everyday situation using Pro Tools, you're happy to run a session around sort of 80%. You never really want to get higher than that. 80% to me feels like the comfortable bit. There's a bit of headroom left for my system. Bearing in mind we haven't even got the HDX card initialized.
No, we're not running HDX. It's just running on the internal system.
Yeah.
Any of you who've got any kind of DSP type processing, be it a UAD card, an HDX card, the new Waves DigiGrid system, a lot of your sort of heavyweight plugin processing you've probably bought that system because you like those heavyweight plugins.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
200 then, yeah.
I want to max it. I want to get to No, it's 512, isn't it? Instruments now in Pro Tools.
Yes.
If you can run Well, let's just not go there, okay? So this is 200. And I'm sure there are people out there who are going to say this is not a real test.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there, you're only jealous that you can't run 200 copies of Boom.
Well, once again, as we've said, there needs to be some baseline to be able to do a test like this. So,
And benchmarking tests don't work for us because the things that they test on benchmark are things like graphics performance, things like that.
yeah, exactly.
Generally, we don't care too much about that.
Hey, maybe somebody needs to make a nice audio one that can run independently of itself. Someone wants to do it. I'm sure they'd like to know about it here. We'd like to know about it.
Yeah, do you know what the bizarre thing is? It seems to be running happier at 200 than it did at 180. Let's ignore that and carry on. Here we go. That is 200 instances of Boom. And it is going up.
Yeah.
But it's not going up that much.
Just hit 70.
73, 74. Right. That's ridiculous.
Bonkers.
Okay. I'm going to get...
Let's add some fives into this now, shall we? Add another 25. And that would be 225. I like that number.
Yeah, 225.
I think we're going to be getting...
Surely we're getting close to what this thing can do. Just to remind you, it was 60 tracks of Boom on the old system with the single core system.
Yep.
Same processor, but just one of them.
Yeah.
It was 60 tracks of Boom at 128 samples. We're at 64 samples, and we've just done 200 instances of Boom.
Yeah, I can't tell you exactly how that works, but it definitely prefers the multi-processor system now, doesn't it?
Right, here we go, 225.
And it's still feeling nice and...
It's not sluggish.
Fluidity's there, isn't it,
the mouse
within-
is nice
yeah.
and responsive. It's one of the first things that normally goes, isn't it? You
Yeah,
end up
yeah.
with a juddery mouse.
Yeah.
The system is still happy to be used. I can flick round between, I can do stuff. It's nice and responsive. Here we go.
There we go.
Right. Well, do you know what? I'm not going to panic about finding the actual number.
Yeah.
I know that 200 tracks is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, what we'll do... Let's just click on that to OK it. Yeah. If we'll go back to 200. Hide and make it active. Now, let's try adding onto the audio tracks some more audio plugins.
Okay.
So let's see, for example, how we can get 20 11s running, the 11 plugin, because that's a pretty juicy plugin. Plugin, Avid, 11 mono. Right. So instantly, the machine is working that bit harder.
Yep.
Now, back in the day, on this machine there's no way I'd have been able to run 6
Right.
11s,
Yep.
let alone 20.
Okay.
And this is still okay, right? Fair enough. Let's not be so clever there.
Well, I think it's maybe bring Boom back a little bit. What are we sitting on with?
Well, it's
200 still with Boom.
yeah. Let's go back to 10 11s. 10 11s. That's confusing. But we know 11 is a particularly thirsty plugin, and we've still got 128 channel strips and 128 deverbs running. It's not like we're not stressing the system much.
And 200 booms.
200 booms. Yeah, 10 11s. Pushing a bit hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with we've found its limit.
Yeah.
We could mess around with the actual configurations of channels and things like that. But as a performance test in Pro Tools, that is ridiculous.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Impressive stuff. So we're going to keep pushing this as far as it will go. We'll up the RAM next. We'll up the main drive.
Yep.
And we'll throw as much at it as we possibly can and see how far we can get with this thing. But for now, he's been Rich from Create Pro. I've been James from Pro Tools Expert, and I'll see you again soon for some more Gear Talk.